Have you ever seen a trawler that can haul up several tons of flounder with just one net? This kind of large fishing vessel has been specially designed. It's also known as a mobile offshore processing plant. The construction period of the entire fishing boat lasts about a year. The factory has built it into the world's most advanced deep-sea trawler. In the workshop located below the deck, the workers work around the clock, 24 hours a day. Every time it goes to sea, this place will produce 1,000 tons of flounder products. Today, they will be heading to West Greenland. On the way, they may encounter extremely rough seas and strong winds. There will also be a large number of icebergs floating on the water waiting for them. For ordinary people, this is an exciting nautical adventure. But for these German seamen, this is just their normal way of life. Each time they go to sea, the duration can range from 1 month to several months, and they can earn tens of thousands of dollars per month. Therefore, before setting sail, everyone must take it seriously and make thorough preparations. Usually, a small mistake can lead to serious consequences. Right now, the fishing vessel MV Marco is still quietly docked at the port in Bremerhaven. As the most advanced deep-sea trawler in Germany, it is 100 meters long and 16 meters wide. At present, workers are transporting over a ton of food to the ship's hold. This will serve as the crew's living supplies for the next several weeks. The supply of vitamins is of great importance, and there are a large number of fruits and vegetables stored here. Meanwhile, technicians in the engine room are also conducting a thorough inspection. This voyage at sea is quite a long one, reaching a distance of 2,000 nautical miles. On the deck, the workers are inspecting the fishing equipment, including checking the otter boards and tightening the screws. 10 minutes before the departure, the captain starts to command the crew to lower the ropes. This mobile offshore factory is slowly towed out of the dock by the tugboat. For this journey, they will first arrive in Scotland and then head to West Greenland. A large deep-sea trawler like this is a special type of vessel and is built in such a huge shipyard. At first glance, you might think they are constructing a building. These trawlers are assembled by welding tens of thousands of tons of steel. Equipped with modern technological advancements, after months of construction and assembly, they finally become the world's most advanced trawlers. As night falls, the captain still remains in the wheelhouse. Since there are often strong winds and heavy rains throughout the entire journey, his greatest responsibility is to safely take the crew out to sea and bring them back safely. With the arrival of the sunrise, a crew member will open the doors of the bedrooms one by one to wake up the other crew members. The cook has already gotten up 2 hours in advance. He needs to prepare breakfast for everyone. He starts working at 5 o'clock every day and has to cook 3 meals throughout the day to ensure that everyone can work around the clock. So, just like the crew members, he also has a very tough job. Today, everyone's breakfast is pancakes with milk. After finishing breakfast, the crew members start putting on their work uniforms. They need to get all the preparations done before reaching the fishing grounds. At this moment, in the engine room, the technicians need to switch the fishing boat to use heavy oil, because this kind of oil is much cheaper. However, it can only be used in the specified waters. By now, the ship has been sailing on the high seas for about 3 days. The crew members must finish their preparations as soon as possible. They unfold the fishing net and sort it out. At the same time, in the factory located below the deck, the workers are speeding up the preparation of the machines. Especially, once this conveyor belt stops working, all the production processes will be affected. The temperature in the freezer at the bottom of the ship is close to minus 30 degrees Celsius. The workers are getting the trays ready. This ship often stays at sea for several months at a time, so every crew member has mastered a set of skills, and they even help each other with haircuts. Do you know how these valuable black halibut are caught by the Germans from the sea? At this time, the workers must install these otter boards on the heavy chains. The function of these boards is to keep the fishing net evenly spread when pulling the fish. At this moment, the deep-sea trawler has sailed to the southern tip of Greenland in the North Atlantic. There are large icebergs floating on the sea surface here. The captain needs to be especially vigilant and always observe with binoculars. Equipment in the processing factory below the deck has also been debugged. The workers above the deck are fixing the trawl net with a thick steel cable. The workers also need to conduct a final inspection of the fishing net. They manually sew up the holes in the net with ropes. The hummingbird sensor installed shows that it will be a few hours before reaching the fishing area. Mending the fishing net is a boring and tedious job, but it is very important because once the net is used to pull the fish, the holes will get bigger and bigger, leading to a tragic situation of getting nothing. Next comes the moment to cast the net. However, things don't go smoothly. Suddenly, the steel wire rope on the winch gets stuck. The entire steel wire rope is as long as 3 kilometers. Finally, the fishing net is successfully lowered into the sea. Immediately after that, the otter boards are lowered. Once the otter boards are in place, they will fully expand the fishing net, and the water pressure generated during the towing process has the effect of driving the fish schools away. It will take several hours for the whole process before they can haul in the net. The captain closely stares at the screen of the echo sounder and adjusts the speed and direction of the trawlers forward. Movement according to the movement tracks of the fish schools underwater. At this moment, the crew members need to change into waterproof oilcloth clothes and put on helmets. Finally, they welcome the exciting moment of hauling in the net and harvesting the fish. First, the heavy otter boards are pulled up, and the workers assist in fixing the chains on the winch. At the same time, whales surface. They will seize the opportunity to intercept the shoals of fish halfway. When the fishing net is pulled onto the ship, you can see the densely packed fish heads caught in the net. Just like this, one net can haul up tons of black halibut at a time. All the efforts and preparations made by the crew members earlier have not been in vain. At this time, the workers open the 2 steel hatches on the deck, and then they need to manually untie the mouth of the net so that the halibut can enter the hold through this gate. The catch of this net is extremely large, which can be seen from the look in the young man's eyes. Subsequently, they use a crane to gradually lift the tail end of the fishing net. The workers below assist in shaking the net, and other workers at the rear use shovels to push the fish that have fallen on the deck forward, so that tons of halibut can completely fall below the hatch of the hold. Immediately afterwards, the captain needs to master the course and prepare to cast the second net. As the hatch covers of the cargo hold drop down, the next task will be handed over to the workers in the processing factory on the lower deck. A large number of fish fall onto these conveyor belts through the hatch. The first stop is that these fish will be decapitated. These fish heads will be separately packaged and sold to Asia. Immediately afterwards, the workers manually remove the tails and internal organs of the fish, and then weigh and pack them. These packaged halibut will be frozen at minus 38 degrees Celsius. Finally, they will be placed on trays in this cooling chamber at minus 30 degrees Celsius. This place can store more than 1,000 tons of halibut products. Do you want to be a sailor on such a ship? You can roam in the vast ocean every day and do the interesting job of catching fish. Earning $50,000 a month is not a dream, and you can eat fresh deep-sea black halibut from the North Atlantic every day. This is the life on Germany's most advanced offshore trawler. By now, they have been sailing at sea for more than a week. They are located in the deep-sea fishing grounds off West Greenland. The weather will change greatly in the following days. The storm is constantly intensifying, and the waves are piling up. If you are someone who gets seasick or carsick, you won't be able to survive in such an environment. They are being hit by strong winds, and heavy snow comes shortly after. At this moment, the visibility on the sea surface is very low, and soon the deck is covered with a thick layer of snow. Next, the workers use seawater to wash the deck, because water containing salt won't freeze. Soon they will be hauling in the second net and harvesting the fish during this voyage at sea. Unfortunately, this fishing operation is not satisfactory. The estimated catch is only a few tons. Everyone hopes that the storm will end soon. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to achieve the small goal of catching 1,000 tons during this trip. As soon as the weather improves, generally speaking, their luck won't be too bad. Each net haul can bring in at least over 10 tons of black halibut. Whenever they take a break, the crew members will go to the commissary to buy the daily necessities they need, including non-alcoholic beer and everyone's favorite cigarettes. The items here are very cheap because most of them are duty-free. The engine room is taken care of by 4 technicians. The most modern technologies are installed and utilized here. The marine diesel engine generates more than 5,000 horsepower. At the same time, it provides round-the-clock electrical support for the halibut processing workshop in the cargo hold, as well as for the emergency system. The engine room also uses a manual control system as a precaution. So far, they have been making smooth progress. After the storm ended, they have been using 2 fishing nets alternately for fishing. However, occasionally there are problems such as power outages caused by damage to the main engine. In such cases, they can only activate the emergency power supply system until the main engine is repaired. During this period, all fishing operations have to be suspended. This problem seems to be quite serious. Since the fishing net has been wound into the interior of the bottom propeller, they can only call for a rescue tugboat to tow them to the nearest seaport maintenance station for repair. First, they send a diver underwater to check. The person in charge stares at the screen to observe. After more than an hour, the diver surfaces. The good news is that the screws on the ship's hull are not damaged. They will adopt the method of cutting to deal with it, that is, using a knife to cut the fishing net stuck inside and then clean it up. This is the life of German fishermen at sea. They earn high incomes but also take great risks. They float on the ocean and fight against nature. After the fishing boat is repaired, they will once again embark on the journey of catching big fish and making big money, day after day, year after year.